Oops. Oscar De La Hoya shoots himself on the foot on this one. The debate is over. And I'm talking about in reference to who was the reason why Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis did 1.2 pay-per-view buys. A lot of people used to debate and argue that it was Ryan Garcia. It's Ryan Garcia. It's not Tank. Tank only does 200,000 pay-per-view buys, man. Gervonta Tank Davis fans be like, Ryan Garcia never did no pay-per-view event, before Tank Davis. And then we saw he wasn't even on pay-per-view versus Oscar Duarte. And then Oscar De La Hoya yesterday on his Clapback Thursday session said that Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia only did 300K pay-per-view buys, which tells me indirectly that he exposed Ryan and not being the sole reason or the reason that Gervonta Tank Davis and himself did 1.2 pay-per-view buys. So the reason it actually did 1.2 pay-per-view buys, 1.2 million pay-per-view buys, it was because of Gervonta Tank Davis. By Oscar De La Hoya saying and disclosing and revealing that Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia did 300K, which in a lot of people's eyes, it was a failure. A lot of people thought that it was going to do more, at least half of what Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia did. Then this explains that, you know what? Common sense, unbiased, logically, and objectively, whether you agree or disagree, it just makes sense that it was Gervonta Tank Davis who pulled those numbers. I mean, look, of course, it takes two. You know what I'm saying? I think that Ryan Garcia did promote the fight real well. The back and forth that they had, yes, Gervonta Tank Davis came out of his shell, his promotional shell. He did a lot better with Ryan Garcia and did a lot better in promoting and you know what I'm saying, bringing more of himself out. You know what I'm saying? Because of course, when he was with Mayweather did all the talking for him. And I think that Gervonta Tank Davis actually did better. He's getting better as a promoter in promoting his own fights. You know what I'm saying? He did good in the Rolly, leading up to the Rolly fight. He did good with the Ryan Garcia. I think he did his best versus Frank Martin in terms of promoting. And man, I want to see how he's going to do with Lamar Roach. Lamar Roach and him is already going back and forth because they're their history. But let's be honest, man. Or let me ask y'all, do you think that Oscar De La Hoya, while going, and this is what happens. Sometimes when you going after somebody, you expose somebody that, Ryan Garcia's got hit in the crossfires in terms of, that Ryan Garcia was not the sole reason why it did 1.2 million pay-per-view buys. See, he's going after Bill and Devin on the Clapback Thursday, right? He's trying to diminish and devalue them and stuff like that, in which I believe that it was Ryan Garcia the reason why they even did 300 pay-per-view buys. But if I believe that it was Ryan Garcia that did the 300K pay-per-view buys, right? Because Devin Haney only did 151K versus Regis Prograis, then you know what I'm saying, we could give Gervonta that same reason why you believe that Ryan Garcia is the sole reason that he's 300K and he was the sole reason that at the whatever numbers that Devin Haney himself had, then we got to give it to Gervonta Tank Davis when it comes to his fight with Ryan Garcia. So common sense tells me Gervonta Tank Davis is the sole reason that's not the sole, but the reason they did 1.2 million pay-per-view buys. And I believe Oscar De La Hoya in his Clapback Thursday, you know what, indirectly, you know what I'm saying, Ryan Garcia got hit with in the crossfires. You feel me? Going at Devin Haney, but in all actuality, you diminish and the Tank Davis being the reason of the successful 1.2 million pay-per-view buys. You know what I'm saying? Then you give people the reason to believe that it was Tank. You understand what I'm trying to say? But anyway, this is Punch Run Boxing, aka Mr. Moonshine himself. I was just thinking about that, and I just did a video about what he was saying about Devin Haney, about Oscar De La Hoya, what he was saying about Devin Haney. But it is what it is, man. I think the debate, there's no more debate about that. Gervonta Tank Davis, whether people like it or not, Gervonta Tank Davis is the reason why they did 1.2 million pay-per-view buys. Not the soul, of course, it's collective. But if you're gonna choose who's the primary reason, Gervonta Tank Davis is the primary reason. He's gonna do another pay-per-view event. He's been doing pay-per-view for quite some time, and we understand. And look, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney didn't sell out the Barclays Center. Gervonta Davis sold out the Barclays Center with Rolly. So he sells tickets and he has successful pay-per-view buys in when we call successful around this time. As a matter of fact, I think that 300K is successful numbers, pay-per-view numbers. But for Ryan Garcia, the perception of Ryan Garcia, we thought it was going to do at least 5 to 6 to 7 pay-per-view buys. Gervonta Davis almost does 300Ks with a bunch of nobodies. You know what I'm saying? So we got to give it a tank on this one. Let me know what y'all think, man. Subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. You already know, man. We break things down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively. Love y'all. God bless. And on to the next.